What's up, guys, and welcome to the channel. So it's story time, and this story is a success story. Yay! Success stories. So forgive me if I'm whispering. It's nighttime. It's like super late, probably like 11. What time is it? Yeah, it's 11:01 at night. And so I applied to be a substitute teacher. But before that, I was like behind the scenes doing like a lot of shadow work. And for me, let me tell y'all what my shadow work looked like, because my root chakra was like off balance and overactive. It was just out of balance, blocked, and for me that looked like my financial problems, my financial issues, me being reckless with money, and that's what that looked like. So a part of me balancing my root chakra is really was for me reflecting on what I was putting my money into. And the first time I was observing it, I was holding myself accountable, but in a judgmental kind of way. Like, why would you spend your money on that? See, you that was stupid. You knew better. It wasn't like uplifting. It wasn't empowering. It was disempowering. And when shadow work came into play, it's like, and then inner child work, I learned to speak to myself very calmly, very gentle, let myself know, like, you didn't do anything wrong, because a lot of the times I'm very, upset with myself because, when you know better, you do better. And sometimes I don't always lead by example, and sometimes I do fall off the track, or whatever, and sometimes I beat myself up about it. Well, like, that's what I was doing at first. I was approaching myself like, come on, just basically doing this in my mind to myself, just disempowering myself. And that's just like, someone telling you to do something over and over again. It's like you want to do it. You want to do it to please them, but you're still not doing it right. And that's because you're disempowering yourself. So, it's like, well, if I do this, like, it makes you not want to do it no more. And so you got to come at yourself. This is what I had to learn for me. You have to come to yourself and address yourself and hold yourself accountable, but in an empowering way. Like, instead of beating yourself up, getting upset with yourself, understand that you are human. Okay? You're not always going to be straight and narrow on the steady path. Sometimes there's going to be a rock in the road, It's not always going to be consistently straight and narrow. Sometimes there's going to be some curves. Sometimes you got to jump over some stuff. Sometimes you got to slow down, And you have to be prepared, you have to be gentle with yourself. You have to be willing to slow down and tell yourself, take a step back, and like, let yourself be outside of yourself to see different perspectives. You have to expand your mind. You have to, the more you expand your mind, the more you know, the more you grow, the more you apply, the more you begin to change and evolve, because the more knowledge and the more new information presents itself, your opinion shifts, your belief shifts. And so you're always changing, you're always evolving based on the information that is presented to you. And so I had to really work on and myself. Like, I had to be able to see what I wasn't allowing myself to see. And for me, that was lying to myself, like, oh, you know what, I'm really good with money. I think I'm good with money, but really I'm not good with money at all. I'm a loose spender. That's what I learned from my mother. She can hold on to money, and and then when I do have money, I don't know how to spend it. That's what I learned from my dad. No, there is no, and one parent is just like off the roof with their spending, and the other parent is very closed off with their spending. And that is what I learned at a young age from finances. Like, when you get money, hold on to it, but there has to be that balance. There has to be saving, and there has to be like doing what you want with your money. You know, it can't just be about bills, priorities, responsibilities. There has to be fun. Okay, you have to let that in, otherwise your life is going to feel so gray. It's going to feel like so unenjoyable. You're not going to like it. And my mouth is getting dry because I'm speaking so much. Let me get some water. When I like do my manifestations, I'm learning how to stop coming from a place of lack. And I do that because I'm like encouraging myself, and I'm really talking myself through this, like the universe is abundant. There is so many people in the world, and we all have the capability to be stable, comfortable, wealthy. It doesn't have to be a struggle. We don't have to be like crabs in a bucket. There is no competition. I have to keep telling myself this. I have to keep reassuring myself this. Otherwise, I'm going to come from a place of lack. Like, I don't have this, I don't have this, I don't have a degree. You know, there's no way. Like, I'm just going to have to get a job that I don't like and just put all this pressure, unnecessary pressure on myself. And that's me off balance, you know. And so I'm doing like, you know, like shaking this and singing ching 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 goes the money tree. And my expectations of that, I'm also switching. My expectations have gone from, okay, I'm gonna shake this and magic is literally, and money is literally gonna fall from the sky, and I'm gonna have a bucket and it's gonna ching ching ching, and every time I shake it, money is gonna flow from the tree. I had to let that expectation go. I had to let go of the how. I had to just be open. Okay, when I'm shaking ching ching ching, money is coming to me in the form of work, because there has to be work. There has to be you performing a service to get the money, you know. But it's like let go of the how, because sometimes you got to work for it, but sometimes it is given. So it comes in different forms. And so if you're only focused, by the way, let me let this focus. When you're only focused on one outcome, you're messing up your opportunities, because you can get somebody like, hey, you want to help me with this side job for $500, and you would be like, no, because in your mind you're thinking like, nah, I just shook it, so any minute now the sky's gonna open up and money's gonna rain down, or I ain't gonna have to do anything and somebody just gonna $500 is gonna come to me and I'm not gonna have to work for it. You know, sometimes you might not have to work for it. Sometimes you might get lucky, you know, not really lucky, but you know what I'm saying. Sometimes you might find $10 on the ground. You know, sometimes it might be like that easy. But sometimes you might have to put a little work in. You might have to you know, do something in order for you to get that. So by you turning down that side job, you just turned down your manifestation. You just shook that ching 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 goes money tree, and you just declined that $500, you know, because you're unwilling to work, because your expectations are in the way. And I had to learn to be flexible. I had to learn to be open so that I can see these opportunities, you know, like wholesaling properties. They were coming to me like left and right. The more I shook it, the more people was like finding my ads and contacting me about wholesaling. But I was like, no, that's not it. You know, like, I'm manifesting $5,000. $5,000 is coming right to me through those wholesaling deals, but I'm turning them down, you know, and because I wasn't open to seeing that. And me doing that shadow work, and me doing this inner child work, and me making these confessions so that I'm able to reflect back on it, that's actually helping me become, you know, better. That's actually helping me reflect, because you know, like a lot of the times, like, we're not able, so much is going on, we're not always able to take a step back, you know. But that's what I'm learning how to do, because that is so important, to take a step back from it all, to see your progress, to stop making the same mistakes. And the only way to do that is to take a step back. What patterns are the same? What's looking the same? Okay, how can you fix those sames that you're not liking? Okay, what can you do? Don't focus on what you can't do. We love to throw that out there. That's that excuse. Like, well, I can't do this because of this. No, why are you focused on what you can't do? We're not talking about what you can't do. We're not worried about what you can't do. Only focus on what you can do, because that makes sense. Just think about it. But, you know, that's what I'm learning how to get out of, you know, and it's really a process, and it's a, you know, because I'm going from what I've learned and what I've seen, what's been my truth, what's been in my reality. I'm learning from what was my reality, and I didn't get taught the importance of finances, and I just blew all my shots because in high school I was in accounting, but I skipped that class. You know, see, money wasn't important to me because my mom didn't take care of money, and my dad was too tight on money. So I didn't really learn the importance of it, and I didn't really care for it. But now as an adult, I'm able to see the importance, and I'm able to be like, oh, that's where, you know, I missed out on opportunity. But I also learned as an adult, like, oh, that was important. Stop missing out on opportunities, you know, be open. But still, I was missing opportunities left and right, even still. But I'm learning, and I'm constantly learning. Like, so with that being said, let's actually talk about the success. So I applied to be a substitute because I qualified to be a substitute, and I'm actually like really into teaching, so that was a bonus. And so I applied, got in, and February I start. For a week I'll be substituting, so that's cool. And that just goes to show you, like, take advantage of these opportunities that come to you, and that's something that I'm personally learning and applying. And yeah, so that is what I manifested. Success story. High five. And signing out.